Being liked is a trap. It's the invisible leash that keeps you from living the life you're meant to live. People think being liked equals happiness, success, and fulfillment, but it's a lie. Chasing approval doesn't make you free. It makes you a prisoner. It makes you weak. It makes you afraid to be yourself, afraid to take risks, afraid to go after what you really want. The truth is, being liked is overrated, and here's why. Reason number one, being liked is exhausting. Think about how much energy you spend trying to please people. You edit yourself, downplay your opinions, and hold back who you really are just to avoid rocking the boat. You bend over backward to meet everyone's expectations, even when it goes against your own needs and values. It's a constant performance, a never-ending audition for other people's approval. And the worst part? It's never enough. No matter what you do, there will always be someone who doesn't like you, so why bother? Reason number two, being liked makes you forget who you are. When you're focused on fitting in, you lose sight of yourself. You stop asking, what do I want? What do I believe? What kind of life do I want to live? Instead, you ask, what will make them happy? What will make them accept me? You start living for other people instead of for yourself. Over time, you become a watered-down version of who you really are. And when you look in the mirror, you don't even recognize the person staring back. Reason number three, being liked doesn't mean being respected. There's a big difference between being liked and being respected. Being liked is about making people feel comfortable. Being respected is about standing for something, even when it's uncomfortable. The people who change the world, the leaders, the innovators, the trailblazers, they're not worried about being liked. They're focused on doing what's right, on chasing their vision, on staying true to themselves. And because of that, they earn respect, even from people who don't like them. Reason number four, being liked won't bring you success. Success isn't about being popular. It's about being effective. It's about having the courage to take risks, make tough decisions, and go against the grain when necessary. The people who are constantly trying to be liked don't succeed because they're too afraid of failure, too afraid of criticism, too afraid of standing out. They play it safe, they follow the crowd, and they end up stuck in mediocrity. Success requires guts, not approval. Reason number five, being liked makes you vulnerable to manipulation. When you care too much about being liked, you give other people power over you. You let them dictate your choices, your priorities, your sense of self-worth. You become easy to control because you're so desperate for their approval. They say jump and you ask how high. But here's the thing. The people who truly matter, the ones who truly care about you, don't need you to prove anything. They'll respect you for being you, not for trying to win their approval. Reason number six, being liked doesn't make you happy. Happiness doesn't come from other people's opinions. It comes from living a life that's true to who you are. It comes from chasing your dreams, following your passions, and staying aligned with your values. When you're focused on being liked, you sacrifice your own happiness for the sake of fitting in. You make choices that aren't right for you, just to keep the peace. But no amount of approval can fill the void that comes from ignoring your own needs. Reason number seven, being liked holds you back from greatness. If you want to stand out, if you want to make an impact, if you want to do something extraordinary, you have to stop caring about being liked. Greatness requires you to take risks, challenge the status quo, and step outside the box. That's going to make some people uncomfortable. It's going to ruffle feathers. It's going to make you unpopular with the crowd. But that's the price of success. You can't be a leader and a people pleaser at the same time. Here's the hard truth. No matter what you do, some people are going to dislike you. You could be the kindest, most generous person on the planet, and someone will still find a reason to hate you. That's not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. Their opinions aren't your responsibility. Your job isn't to be liked, it's to be yourself. When you let go of the need to be liked, you set yourself free. Free to speak your mind, to take risks, to follow your dreams. Free to live life on your own terms. And the irony is, the less you care about being liked, the more people will respect you. Because authenticity is magnetic. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves. Here's the thing about being liked. It's addictive. When people like you, it feels good. It strokes your ego. It gives you a fleeting sense of validation. But like any addiction, it's dangerous. The more you chase it, the more you lose control. You start living for that next hit of approval instead of living for yourself. And before you know it, your entire life revolves around what other people think. That's not freedom. That's a cage. The world doesn't need more people pleasers. It doesn't need more carbon copies, more watered-down versions of authenticity. It needs people who are willing to be real, who aren't afraid to be different, who have the guts to stand alone when necessary. That's how change happens. That's how progress is made. But none of that is possible if you're constantly trying to keep everyone happy. Let's get real. The pursuit of being liked is rooted in fear. Fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear of standing out, and fear is the biggest enemy of growth. When you let fear control you, you stay small. You stick to what's safe and familiar. You never take risks, never push your limits, never explore your full potential. But when you stop caring about being liked, you free yourself from that fear. You open yourself up to possibility, to creativity, to greatness. You weren't put on this planet to live someone else's life. You weren't born to follow the crowd, to conform, to shrink yourself down just to make other people comfortable. You were born to create, to explore, to challenge, to grow. That's your purpose, but you'll never fulfill it if you're constantly worried about whether or not people like you. Here's a hard truth. Most people don't even know what they want, so why are you bending over backward to win their approval? Think about it. The same people you're trying to impress are often lost themselves. They don't have a clear vision for their own lives, yet you're letting their opinions dictate yours. That's insanity. Stop giving so much weight to people who don't have their own lives figured out. Start trusting yourself. Start being your own guide. The most successful, impactful people in history weren't liked by everyone. In fact, many of them were hated, criticized, and ridiculed. But they didn't let that stop them. Why? Because they knew their purpose was bigger than other people's opinions. They knew that being liked was never the goal. Making a difference was. When you stop caring about being liked, you take back your power. You stop living on other people's terms and start living on your own. You become fearless, bold, unstoppable. You start making decisions based on what's right for you, not what will please the crowd. And that's when everything changes. That's when you step into your true potential. Let me ask you this. What's the point of being liked if it comes at the cost of your authenticity? What's the point of fitting in if it means betraying yourself? What's the point of approval if it leaves you feeling empty inside? None of it is worth it. The only thing that matters is being true to yourself, standing for what you believe in, and living a life that feels right to you. You want to know what happens when you stop caring about being liked? You find out who your real friends are. You find out who actually respects you and who was only there for the version of you that catered to their needs. It's a brutal truth, but it's also liberating. Because once you see who's real, you can start surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support you, people who love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. Here's another thing. When you stop caring about being liked, you start to like yourself more. Think about that. All that energy you were wasting on trying to win other people's approval can now be spent on building yourself up, on improving yourself, on becoming the person you've always wanted to be. You stop seeking validation from the outside because you're giving it to yourself. And that's the kind of confidence no one can take away from you. The truth is, being liked isn't the key to happiness. Freedom is. And you can't be free if you're constantly living for other people's approval. Freedom comes from being unapologetically yourself, from doing what you believe in, from chasing your own dreams. That's where real fulfillment comes from, not from being liked, but from being free. Stop chasing approval. Stop seeking validation. Stop living for the applause of people who don't even know your full story. Start living for you. Start doing what sets your soul on fire. Start standing up for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone. Because at the end of the day, the only person you need to impress is the one staring back at you in the mirror.